Hello, hello people, welcome back. So this is going to be the final face-off, the final match of the best out of 3 I've been following on the last couple of days. Taken from the Kaspersky New Year's Invitational, once again the third face-off between here the blue Terran Strelok for Team mouzStrelok, Ukrainian Terran player, also Brood War veteran, facing against the red Zerg oGsZenio, playing on this OGS account created for this event. And well, as you can see, they're playing on Scrap Station. It is a map that favors Zerg a bit, I would say, but I mean, the previous match was on Lost Temple, and well, the tendency is to favor Terran players there as well, so I guess it's only fair. And well, this map usually favors Zerg players a bit, because the rush distance by ground is fairly long, and it's fairly easy for the Zerg player to take this natural expo here. It's also defended, locked on this place. You can establish your forces and get some defenses way before your Terran player will be knocking on your door. So let's see what comes out of this match. I'm not sure if Zenio is going to grab that advantage and just try to take benefit out of it, but well, it depends a lot on the conditions that they will be playing this match. You know that things are quite random. Quite a lot of openings, a lot of strategies can be chosen to play this game, so I guess that we're gonna have to wait at least a couple more minutes to see which way both players are heading. For now, as you can see, Strelok just mustering up his minerals. Interesting enough, he didn't want to build anything yet. He's just gathering minerals. I think he's gonna go for some kind of an orthodox approach to this match, I would say. Meanwhile, Zenio getting his fast hatchery as usual, something that benefits him a lot. And whoa, Strelok going straight into a command center. So supply depot into fast expand, I would say, and by the positioning of this command center, I would say he's gonna lift it up and take it to this island. Not sure if this overlord spotted anything, but I really doubt it. No, he didn't. He didn't spot anything. Now he's actually noticing that his opponent is finally establishing the barracks. So he might be fooling Zenio into thinking that he's just delaying his barracks a little bit. He was concerned with other things. But Zenio is a pro gamer, so a very high ranked and very high skilled player. So he might be thinking about something there's fishy here. Might be suspicious that he was building something else. Maybe he's even scouting around with his overlord, taking a look around, see if there's any proxy building anywhere, because when he flew over there was nothing getting built. Now finally picking up the first gas and the second at the same time, both gas at the same time, still a single racks, while the command center is almost finished. This is a very interesting approach by Strelok. He's gonna go for fast expand and establish his econ game fairly fast, but I don't think that Zenio is just gonna sit here waiting. He actually has two options at the moment. He just commits himself to some early pressure and take a look at what actually Strelok is doing, because basically at the moment he doesn't have much of a defense. The first marine is gonna come out now, or he might decide to go for some heavy macro game once again, based on the fact that his opponent is just defending and not preparing any kind of offensive maneuver. For now, as you can see, command center finally arriving, loaded with SCVs, and it's gonna land there, while the first SCV from Strelok getting sent to the main base. Team Empire possible to out. Okay, he's just complaining about lag, I would say. Yeah, there it is, and he just left. Exactly. So just someone delaying the game or lagging the game a little bit, or at least Strelok was thinking that, and finally finishing his wall off here with 2 factories. So apparently he's not committing himself to a lot of M&M play early on. With 2 factories, probably going to see some Hellions, I would say. Hellion play is quite powerful against Zerg, though the Zerg player might decide to go for some Roaches, which is a unit that he can fairly get early on the game and just counter those Hellions easily. Another SCV coming out with that Zergling poking at it. I don't think he's gonna even get to this Zalnaga Watchtower, and if he does, he's gonna get killed. There it is, finally over. While Strelok's just investing and committing himself to this fast expand play on the island, trying to make sure that his opponent won't be able to find out about his secret base there. Let's see how far he can take this, because if Strelok is able to take this play very, very far without Zenio noticing that his making a 2-base play, well, he's gonna benefit from the income, that's pretty obvious. For now, Strelok getting those Hellions out, also Infernal Pre-Igniter getting ready, while on his opponent's base, he's getting his Roach Warren built, so he's gonna have a proper counter for those Hellions, and he's probably gonna be more than ready when the Hellions finally come out. Apparently, by going for the Infernal Pre-Igniter, I would say that Strelok will be committing himself to some heavy Hellion play, but meanwhile Zenio took this Overlord here, and look, he already spotted the island, so failed plan by Strelok, I would say. Wasn't long enough. I mean, he's just establishing his economy here, he's not even close to be saturated. He's gonna benefit from the income obviously for quite a long time, but as you can see, an answer from Zenio, instantly going for the lair tech and probably gonna invest on some air units. I would say Mutalisks would be useful. He might be preparing some Nidus work, would work as well, but I guess we're gonna wait and see. For now, on Strelok's side, he went for the Starport. There it is, Starport already established with the Tech Lab, and getting Banshees with the Cloaking Field. So transitioning from Hellion with Infernal Pre-Igniter into Banshees with Cloaking Field, all harassing units early on the game, on the early stages of the game. These Hellions, I don't think they're gonna have much work here. These Roaches will finish them up easily if they even try to approach. Yeah, and he's just pulling back. But now this Banshee might be a different situation. He's actually waiting for the Cloaking Field to finish and probably gonna start poking on the main base from Zenio. Zenio taking his time to even muster up his macro game even more and going straight into that high mineral field, while the first Banshee arrives on the main base and is gonna start getting some kills, racking some kills on those drones. 2 kills now, and as you can see on the minimap, like I was commenting, he's getting the high mineral field and has a group of units poking at the rocks that lead to that island on the far south. So pretty interesting maneuver by Zenio. He's just going very heavy macro game for now, while he finishes his Baneling Nest. I wonder if he's gonna go for any Spire or anything like that, because he is needing it. First Overseer already out to make sure he's gonna be able to detect this Banshee, and placing a Spore Crawler on his Natural Expo. A nice move to detect this Banshee, and now I don't think this Banshee is gonna go further away. There's a second one trying to get more kills there, while the first one got killed on the Natural Expo. The Overseer combination with the Spore Crawler worked just fine, and the damage was just not too much. Meanwhile, as you can see, the Zerglings already destroyed the rocks, and apparently Zenio will be preparing to pick up this platform 4 and getting a 4th base running. So he is on a very intense macro game, was able to fend off the Banshee assault. The Banshees did got some kills, did racked up some kills on that drone count, but nothing that Zenio won't be able to recover, especially with this amount of queens here. He's gonna have some air defense against a small number of Banshees. And apparently Strelok still transitioning. He keeps moving from Hellions with Infernal Pre-Igniter to Banshees with the Cloaking Field, and now going for some Thor play. Easy guessing that we're gonna have some Mutalisks pretty soon, because the Spire is already here. And let me check how much did Strelok spotted from that group. The first Mutalisk coming out, shoving away all those Hellions that were taking control of the Xel'Naga Watchtower, pushing them all back. But I think these Mutalisks are in for a surprise. The moment they get to the main base of Strelok, they're gonna get blasted by those Thors that are standing on the main base. Now Vikings getting reinforced to fly around, probably preparing them to harass all the overlords that will be spread around the map. Notice that Zenio has been taking map control. He has the Xel'Naga Watchtower. He's been slowly spreading his overlords all over the place to contain the movements from his opponent, from Strelok. And a lot of Thors there. 4 Thors blasting away, killing one of the Mutalisks and another one almost dead. And he's just committing himself to this 2-base play, which has been working fine. Now with a single Viking harassing all the overlords, making sure that they won't be able to keep tabs on the bases from Strelok. And now let me take a look at how much the Strelok knows about this base. Oh yeah, he spotted the Spire, he spotted still getting built, and now a second hatchery getting built on the main base, so mass production of the units already available will be the plan from Zenio. Infestation Pit already getting set with Neural Parasite. Very interesting approach. That's Neural Parasite. It's something that you don't see that often, but I think it's a counter and an answer back to that big amount of Thors that he spotted there. I mean, there were so many Thors on that main base that I think he's going to commit himself to some Infestor play and take control of all those Thors. More Overlords getting spreaded, this time already with the speed. As you can see, plenty of upgrades incoming there, with one single Banshee advancing into this rich mineral field. Taking a look at what's going on here, it's going to kill as many units as possible. There's no Spore Crawler and no Overseer on this base, so this Banshee will be able to rack up a big number of kills, a big number of drone kills. And now finally the Mutalisk appearing. He still needs some kind of scan to just detect this unit, and he's getting a Spore Crawler almost finished, and the Overseer finally shows up and finish off this wave of Ras from Strelok. And now we're gonna have a massive move here, advancing with all of those Thors, backed up by a small group of Marines and Marauders, and the Hellions leading the way, and also a Raven. Interesting approach, interesting choice here of units from Strelok. Very, very interesting combination. Now on the income, as you can see, Zenio is just profiting for having so many bases. Look at the amount of income that he's getting. Harvester count 20 more, 2,000, like 1,000 more than his opponent, and I guess it's just a consequence of playing out of two bases for so long. And the first one is almost getting mined out, so Strelok will have to start making some decisions soon. He's sending a small group, as you can see, all the way south. I think he's going to try to harass the mineral line here even more. There it is, a bunch of Hellions roasting all the drones on the rich mineral field. Oh, so many roasted, and the single queen trying to kill as many of those Hellions possible, but there's nothing left. Oh, those Hellions just had a massive kill there. A nice move by Zenio, getting a Neural Parasite on one of the Thors. Thors got killed. And now Strelok slowly advancing with this mech army, backed up by a small group of bio. And actually it's interesting because Zenio is just staying back. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to take the HP bars out. It's just way too many HP bars just roaming there. And he's actually allowing Strelok to slowly advance into his base, and I think he wants to pin him. Here he comes, massive advance from the forces of Zenio. Nice Neurals, 2 Thors controlled. Look at the Thors backing up the Roaches, destroying all of the units from Strelok. There's not much of that big mech army that was advancing, and apparently Zenio was able to fend off this assault. Now lost control of those 2 Thors, and the Roaches are just trying to hold there, make sure that they're going to be able to destroy these Thors, but instead pulling back, just giving room, giving terrain to Strelok while he probably muster up his forces. As you can see, he's just pulled back with all of his Roaches, probably waiting to get more units, a bigger army, because, well, he lost a lot there, and he was actually only able to withstand that big push because the Neural Parasite works brilliantly and just was able to help him defend that big advance there. Once again, a small clash incoming here on the corridor with units that were rallied to that point. Roaches advancing in with the Zerglings into that siege tank, probably gonna try to finish it off. There it is, and now knocking on the main door of the base of Strelok. Plenty of Roaches, while there's a small group advancing south once again. I'm wondering if they're gonna decide to go and push into that south base once more. Single Marauder here gonna get killed. There's not much going on here, as you can see. He's just trying to get some static defenses, but there's not much of a defense, while Thors and Medivacs and some siege tanks advance into this base, and I think this is gonna get destroyed. There it is, hatchery going down, and there goes the rich mineral field. Zenio will have to come here once again and try his luck if he wants to benefit from the income that he gets from this rich mineral field. For now, Strelok is controlling, dominating the place, and just blasting away at all the buildings that were established here. A small group from Zenio getting ready to advance. I think he's just preparing and allowing Strelok to feel comfortable, and notice this pincer attack. Here they come, both sides attacking at the same time. Brilliant move made here by Zenio, advancing from both sides and just making a pincer attack that destroyed all the units from Strelok. There's not much left there. Once again, a small group advancing into the main base, but the bulk of the forces from Strelok is here. He actually doesn't have much of an army at the moment. As you can see, there's a big gap there, 167 against 115. Strelok trying to get some buildings done there so his opponent can't have a proper concave, and now a massive wave, a tsunami of Roaches and Zerglings advancing into the main base of Strelok, wreaking havoc on his main door, destroying all the units. There's not much left of Strelok's army. Let's see the units at the moment. 27 roaches. And there's actually not much left from Strelok's army. Will he be able to fend off this assault? Oh, Zenio pulling back with what's left of his roach army, while Strelok was able to contain his advance and just make a bottleneck here on this entrance. Nice move there by Strelok, but now the question is, Strelok has been playing out of 2 bases for so long, he doesn't have anything here. As you can see, he only has 1 mineral field, and now this has this second one that he established here, but I think he's just way behind. Let's see the econ game. Yeah, for now Strelok just pulling ahead, but these 4 bases, yeah, it's 5 now with this one. I think this is going to give the lead to Zenio. I mean, he's just on such a powerful macro game. He's going to be able to recover his army and muster up his forces so much faster than Strelok. As you can see, Strelok is just trying to get a desperate move here. He tried to pick up this command center and this mineral line on what's supposed to be his natural expo, and he just ignored it for so long that he's paying for it. He just went 2 base play for much too long, I would say, against basically a 4 base Zerg, which is going to be a 5 base pretty soon. Look at this one, already set. He's going to need some drones there. Also take notice that he's been playing on this base for ages just fine. No harass, no intimidation, no pressure whatsoever, and this is working just fine for Zenio. Zenio is just being able to reinforce his army so much faster. Look here at the comparison, 150, 124, so still Zenio leading the way on his army count, and he's even taking his time to pull back, getting now the hive on his main base. So which will be his next plan? Ultralisks? Or maybe some Broodlords would be cool. I guess we're gonna have to wait a bit more. Once again, he's working out of his rich mineral field, so he's gonna take the benefit from here, and he's getting Corruptors and the Greater Spire. So the answer for this, yes, it's gonna be Broodlords for now. A single Medivac advancing here, there's nothing in it. Still this base working just fine, but doesn't have much of a mineral field anymore, so I guess that Strelok will be working out of a single mineral field pretty soon. He even took his time to get a planetary fortress on what's supposed to be his natural expo. Small group of marines just hanging here, doing nothing, kinda interesting. And now a drop with the Medivac occurring on this rich mineral field once again, with Zenio trying to get some static defenses as fast as possible. I think they might be able to pop, but will be too weak, and a small group of marines advancing and just burning, killing all of those drones. Nice Zergling flanking there, trying to surround them, and the Medivac picking up all the units and trying to pull back and save them from a certain death. Meanwhile, what else is going on here? Let me look. This one's still working just fine. A lot of Zerglings coming out of all the bases from Zenio. He's making a huge army. Let's take a look at the unit count once again. And now the forces from Strelok advancing here. It's basically M&M backed up by some Medivacs and some siege tanks. So a mix between mech and bio. And he's gonna advance here. Instead of going on the corridor, he's gonna go all the way around into the longest rush distance. But which target will he be committing to? Maybe this base, the most recent base from Zenio, might be an option. Yes, here he goes, advancing into this base. The forces from Zenio advancing, nice fungal growth on top of those marines. And now the rest of the forces from Strelok advancing and focusing fire on the Ultralisk Cavern, and got sniped, as well as the hatchery. Oh, a massive blow onto the plants from Zenio, but I think Zenio has a big army here, and he has his Broodlords to back it up, so losing the Ultralisks on that situation might not be that much of a blow. He might be able to still hang on, because he has so many forces here. Look at him spawning a lot of infested Terrans to finish off this Viking that has been poking at those Broodlords, and now slowly advancing into the main base once again with the march of the troops, the march of the Zerg wave into the main base once again. Plenty of siege tanks here. Oh, they just got in siege and gonna get killed really quickly. The roaches actually blocking the advance of the Zerglings, but doesn't matter. Look at them just pushing ahead into that bottleneck, trying to kill the last units that Strelok has on his defense, and finally the bottleneck is open. Notice this Broodlord just destroying the buildings in the main door, just finish off that wall off, and now a lot of Zerglings roaming around the main base from Strelok, just wreaking havoc, and look at them spreading all over the building. So apparently all the production facilities from Strelok will be destroyed. They're just spreading so fast along all of the buildings and taking them all down so quickly. Take a look at this. They're also getting the supply depots and just wreaking havoc, and like this, well, Strelok won't have any other buildings to produce anything. I mean, his army is basically over. Look at all the Zerglings, how fast they take care of everything here, and now they're getting pulled back to help out destroying this planetary fortress. Broodlords backing it up as well, only missing a couple of buildings here on the back. Most of it's just completely destroyed, and the SCV is trying to repair the planetary fortress. Broodlords trying to back it up. Finally, the last buildings are getting destroyed, and now a lot of Banelings surrounding, destroying the SCVs. Oh, so many explosions. Planetary fortress almost down, and boom! Ho-ho! Massive damage from those Banelings, just wreaking havoc and finishing off that expo from Strelok. Still the Broodlords alive and kicking, and there's not much left of the army and from the buildings and the bases from Strelok. I mean, he only has this one, which was his first natural expo for him, I guess. Was his first expo, at least a natural expo. He actually didn't pick it up until much later, and that's the only thing left here, basically. And now trying to move some units here, and even trying to establish a starport. Oh, okay, GG's. I was wondering if he was still considering rebuilding here and hoping to have any chance of winning this. So, well, GG. Strelok lost 2-1. Zenio took the series on a massive intensive game. Very powerful offensive here by Zenio with a huge macro game, just trampled all over Strelok, and I guess Strelok just had to pay for his option. I mean, he stayed on 2 base play for a long time and took his time to actually risk his play and just come here to the Natural Expo to get a third one. Okay, game done, series done. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you all later.